Hi, I'm going to talk more about my Kundalini experience and consciousness and how we're all connected through spirit and conscious. We're conscious spirits. We're not this physical body. We're just having a life in the physical body to learn and grow, expand consciousness, spirit, everything. Um, During my Kundalini experience, I was going to talk about things I on previous videos. I said I'm not going to talk a little bit about them. Um, They said about the golden ones. I was talking, I think, on one video. Now, if anybody well, if you're into the esoteric about spiritual growth and learning, meditation, astral projection, any of this stuff, you'll realize the golden ones are, I guess, they're like guardians of the fifth dimension or guardians of dimensions or of just the fifth dimension. That's what I perceived them as. When I was helped to have my Kundalini experience, or was it just before my Kundalini experience? I think it was just before. No, maybe just after. Um, I was meditating every day, like I said, a few hours a day, and my consciousness. I was like really kind of walking in two worlds. My consciousness was like in the fourth, because I was seeing into the next dimension a lot of times, and clearly in my mind, I was really connected. When the spirit would come to me and show me something, I could see it very clearly in my third eye and in my scanner, whatever you want to call it, in that area there. I don't care about names. It works. That's who we are. That's part of who we are as beings, as spiritual beings. We have our chakras, our seven major chakras, and when you connect them right to the crown, that's when you have your Kundalini awakened, and it's really an awakening because you realize how big and how powerful we really are as beings. And this, when I raised my consciousness, I was after that, just shortly after my Kundalini experience, I went to that. I left my higher self, took me my consciousness out of my body, and I went to this level, and it was really cool. It was like I could see like the stars, like the universe, and I'm up there, and it looks like a mist or like clouds, but a mist, more like a mist, and these golden beings, like solid gold energy bodies, beautiful. You couldn't see eyes or faces, just pure, beautiful gold energy, pure. Oh, it's beautiful. And I was up there speaking with them, and because I wanted to go to the fifth dimension, right? And I guess with them, they help you, and if you are ready for it, then you go. And that's why I was able to go to the fifth dimension and have an experience, and then come back in this body, which I didn't really want to. I'm here now, and it was amazing. You see these golden beings, and you feel the love. It's unconditional love. I guess I got to stress when you reach these higher dimensions, these higher spiritual dimensions, it's all about love. I mean, even here on the planet, that's what we're lacking is unconditional love. But it's people are changing. You can feel it. I can feel it stronger. The Earth's energy is much more positive. Um, it's more about Kundalini. I don't want to stray from my thoughts from going into another direction. But yeah, that was talking about the golden ones. Well, that's my experience with the golden ones, and they're amazing beings. And uh, that's about it for about that. Now, when I had during my Kundalini experience, I want to talk about more about consciousness. Shortly after, maybe a month or two after my Kundalini experience, I was still like, my Kundalini experience lasted for almost 2 years, so which is really great. My consciousness, like I said, I was walking in two worlds, basically, really. And I went, um, during one experience, I could feel like I could hear them in my mind. I can hear the higher dimensional beings we call ETs. They're just on a higher dimension, most of them, right? Because, well, they've been around a lot longer than we have as a human race. So they're more spiritually advanced. And I could hear what they were saying and thinking. And, we would have conversation. I remember one time when I was having my full blown, like, it was like really expanded Kundalini, like the energy was just shooting with it coming out of me. And I was just, it was amazing. And that's from Source. That's from God, Source, whatever you want to call it. The isness. I like the isness. That's the Andromedans call it. I like that term. prime creator, whatever. We're all connected to that being. We're all part of that being. We're all aspects of that being. So you're not powerless. You have lots of power within you. Just you have to keep going. I keep saying it. Go within, but go within the heart. Christ consciousness, I think, is the best way. That's my own personal opinion. But anyways, getting back, I could see. It's hard to describe, but it was like in another dimension. I was looking in another dimension, and I can see my path. And I was telling my family, our galactic family, I want to go to that fifth. And because I could feel, I can hear them and say, well, you should, because I was really sick. Like I'm still not 100% well, obviously, you can see. But I mean, I thought I was near death. That's how bad it was. And that's what my higher self was telling me. He said, you're not far from that, not be able to come back from this. So it's up to you what you want to do. Anyways, I could see this path, and I could see like lines, like straying from that one straight path, because that's where I wanted to go. And I showed them I want to be with this Earth, Mother Earth, in the fifth dimension. And these other paths are like different timelines that I could have choose, but I showed them in my mind clearly, right? They acknowledged it. I could see them. It's amazing how consciousness works. Everything is consciousness, and I showed them, and and I was seeing in the next dimension, another higher dimension, because I felt them looking, and I turned to look, and there was a craft. It was just a big one too, huge one, maybe the size of a football field or bigger. And it just came out of the clouds a little bit. And then as soon as I acknowledged, I see you, I was pretending, they went back into the cloud, right? And I seen a couple of them. But this was in another dimension I'm seeing, right? Because I was walking, and my body was in the third, but my consciousness was into fourth, going to fifth. And it was amazing to see all that stuff. And that's another thing I wanted to tell you about, that the Kundalini experience is amazing. I wish everybody could have this experience, but that's up to you. You got to do the work. I mean, I said it before, don't give up. What I had to go through, and I didn't ask for help, which was stupid. I should have asked for help. I was letting my pride get in the way. I wanted to do it myself, but one of the ascended masters came to me and offered their help, but I had to give them permission. And that's, I should have asked, but that's, it's over, it's done with. They helped me out. And that's another amazing experience. I'll talk more about that in another video. But I wanted to also say everything is consciousness. Everything has consciousness. Even this lighter, believe it or not, because it's made up of atoms and all this, and if you know now, it's not really solid. It isn't. It's perceived in this dimension as solid, but it's not. Sorry, I know I shouldn't be smoking, but it's my only vice now, so I want to have at least one enjoyment. Don't drink, don't do drugs, and I just want to enjoy a cigarette once in a while. So anyways, consciousness again, yes. Like I said, during the first couple of months, I was really opening up. My Kundalini was like really, so it took about two months, maybe 3, before it really full blown started to go. And during that, I would feed these birds at a coffee place, which is, I'm not going to mention the name, but down near where I live. And these birds, during my Kundalini experience, as soon as I came full blown, like they could see the energy, the light, they could feel it. They would just come and take the bread right out of my hand. Like I just showed it to them, come on, and then poof, just come and take it. And they would do that constantly, because they knew I was connected with Source, like fully, like that's being fully connected with God, Source, whatever. All the chakras the Kundalini is going, and they knew that. They could see that. Don't think animals are stupid. They can see much more than we can with our physical eyes, unless you open your third eye, and then you'll start seeing it yourself. I had an experience where I could actually during this, when I go feed them every morning and in the afternoon, there's one time I was sitting on the bench watching them feed, and I actually connected with their consciousness, one of the birds' consciousness. I was seeing through their eyes what they were seeing. It's cool, man. It's amazing how we can do. Anybody can do this. This is what we can do as spiritual beings, as human spiritual beings. We can all do this. You just got to believe. That's another thing. If you have doubt, if you don't believe it's possible, it won't happen. You have to have some faith, and you have to have belief that it is possible. Even the bees, there was a time when I was doing something and these bees were around, honeybees, and I connected my consciousness with theirs, and it is a hive consciousness. They can all they are talking to each other with consciousness, but it's everybody hears everything. All the bees hear each other. It's amazing, and I connected with them. One bee flew. I said one bee was coming close to me, and I was thinking this. I didn't say it out loud. You can come and fly on me if you want. He flew my nose, stayed there, and it was tickling me for about 10, 15 seconds. I go, and in my mind, I go, okay, can you get off because you're tickling me? And it just flew away, and it's amazing. This stuff is real. It's not science fiction. This is who you are. This is who I am, who we all are. Like I said, this earth has consciousness. I met Mother Earth. Actually came, and it was an amazing experience. She actually assumed the physical form, part of her, and this earth is consciousness. When I had the experience, I connected fully with this earth. I could feel the love. I could feel the pain. It was just it's an amazing experience. You don't know who you are until you have this experience. Okay, and this whole universe is consciousness. Is created by consciousness, love, and consciousness, spirit. The sun is a conscious being. I connected with the sun. It's a conscious being. It's a dimensional doorway. You can go to other dimensions, other universes through the sun. But they won't be allowed. I mean, these experiences are when you're ready for them, you'll have them. But if you have this Kundalini experience, you won't have the Kundalini unless you're ready for it or you want to, because it's your right as a spiritual being to have this experience. Okay, so anybody can have it, right? When you do that, you wake up to who you really are and how powerful you are as a being. Believe me, I don't know if we should talk about that because I don't want people. No, I'm not going to talk about that. Just that you're powerful. Okay, know that. Know that. And what else? This whole universe is conscious. This whole universe is created by a conscious being we call God, spiritual being, which is unconditional love. During my highest point of the Kundalini, I connected I think I said in one video, I was trying to, my consciousness was so expanding so high, and I was so up there that there's 2, 3 beings, and one was hiding behind. I could see them, and my third eye was open. I could see this in the next dimension, trying to hold me in my body because I was going so far up. And that's when I got angry, and I said, no, it's my free will. I want to go. And as soon as I slammed my fist down, I could see my higher self. Remember, I'm looking in with my third eye. I could see, came and they moved right aside because that higher self is part of you, which is part of God, fully connected to God consciousness, God source, okay, to source. And it came, and my higher self grabbed me and took me right out of my body. My consciousness went higher, all the dimensions, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, all the way up to the 11th dimension, to the 12th that's being created now. I think it's just about created now. And I went to that creator. I was up there with that creator, okay, that universal creator, prime creator, the isness, doesn't matter what name we give it, what galactic being gives it whatever name, or what human being gives it what name, it doesn't matter. It's pure unconditional love. It saw me as one with it. No judgment, none of this crap you're taught with religions. That's a bunch of BS, okay? It's to keep you in fear and to keep you limited in your beliefs, thinking that it's not like that. You're loved unconditionally by that being. All right? I'm telling you from personal experience. It's not from a book I read or a movie, whatever. Somebody else telling me this. It's my own personal experience. And that being loves you unconditionally. Okay? That's about it I want to talk about it with this video for now. I'll talk more about my experiences. But thank you for listening, and take care. I love you all. Thank you.